I think that it's okay to understand that we are going through an economic shift globally as well as in Pakistan. And I think it's important to recognize that some of that is being forced upon us economically. So, for example, when we talk about manufacturing businesses being closed due to import restrictions, the natural question that comes is, well, is there no way to, look at ways to cover or import substitution rather than bringing that import in? So when we see businesses that have been here for the last 40, 50 years and they still have not developed alternative supply chains into their import elements, we do have to ask the question, well, why not? And second question is, can it be done? And this is not just Pakistan going through this thought process. This is actually the entire world is going through this thought process. How can we localize our supply chains better so that global disruptions and even local economic disruptions, we can minimize the impact of that? So I think that's a very important question that is continuously coming through in boardrooms. It's coming through in thought leadership on how to develop those frameworks. I think the second thing that we're also seeing a lot of is that the old way of ensuring our energy security or our food security, those old ways won't work anymore, right? We have seen extreme volatility in global oil prices. We are dependent, I would say, almost 90% or maybe about 80% on fossil fuels. The rest is, coming from a mix of hydro and then a small percentage on solar, etc. So the question for us is, how can we become more energy efficient, especially when we have the natural resource to allow it? And that applies to all companies across the board. We are now deliberately having those discussions on how to shift away from fossil fuel dependence onto internal energy resilience, right? And then the final point on food security. I think we've ignored the agricultural sector for far too long. And because of that, we are at the whim and at the mercy of climate change. If we were to take on climate change in an adaptive and mitigative way, we could ensure our food security without the need for these constant cycles of there's been a flood, the harvest is low. There's been a drought, the harvest is low. So better management of our agricultural framework, that food security, I think these are all now thought processes that are filtering into leadership conversations. And I think the one that is probably most at the forefront is how do we address technology, which is coming to us completely unfiltered. And how do we use that technology, whether it's AI or it's anything else related to a new way of running manufacturing or new way of running buses, etc. How do we use that and harness that quickly enough to be able to make a difference in our companies?